Shalom. Once again, another lady came from a place where they talking about the census, and she was a kind woman. She looked to be Latino. So I told her, I said, thanks for you being, kind and how you are. She said, I was a kind man as well. I said, I appreciate it. I said, I'm not arguing with you nor fussing at you. I'm just letting you know ahead of time, because I'm a true American. I'm an Israelite. So I don't have to hide to talk to people. I just have to tell them straight out what's going on. So I did. Then I said, first of all, just letting you know that I'm an American, original American, Aboriginal, indigenous to this land. I'm an Israelite. So then she said, well, I'm just here to, because the census, they need to know this to better get funds for this and funds for that. And I said, well, first of all, I just have to let you know that I'm not subject to the corporation. She said, who is the corporation? The United States Corporation. Is it 28 USC 300215, where it explains that the United States is a federal corporation? That's not putting it down. I'm just telling you what it is. They tell you what it is. So I'm not going to acknowledge being subject to a corporation. I'm an American. And I've already explained that to you before through a thorough explanation. Then I told the lady, I said, since she came, I'll take this notice of visit, but only if you acknowledge that you understand that who I am and who I'm not, basically. And I've explained to her who I am. She said, I understand. Then she said, well, I said, well, so you people stop coming back. She said, well, unless you sign it or whatever else. I said, well, first let me explain something to you. I've already given a public notice on YouTube, on Facebook. That's all that's needed to have people to witness it. And I've given you a thorough explanation of who I am and who I'm not. I'm not subject to color of law. And you already seen that's non-existent. That's just basically that only exists to subjects of the corporation. And I don't acknowledge being a subject of the corporation. I'm not subject to the corporation. And just like saying, are you subject to Walmart? Are you subject to KFC? Are you subject to Target? Are you subject to so that means you can't go to nowhere else and go shopping. That's just the facts of the matter. That's not disrespecting the corporation. I never said I disrespected the corporation. I just been given knowledge through those powers that be, that was, by necessity, to get this understanding, to overstand this situation. And because of that knowledge, those powers that was at the time said, they can't instruct us, but through their acknowledgement of who we are, they said that we must stand in this time being who we are. But guess who else told us that before they said it? The Most High. That's why no matter what nobody else says, I'm not going by public demand. I'm going by what the Father told me. The Father said I'm an Israelite. And then the stick of Joseph ended up in my hand, so I said I'm from Ephraim, because that's prophecy. And some people call me, according to bywords, Choctaw. But I'm an Israelite. I'm an original American. And the corporation, in reality, is not only subject to me, but it is subject to all original Americans. That's the truth. We can use the corporation, any portions of it, if we choose to or not. We're not subject to it, though. But that's what all these things that they try to do, is to try to make you subject to a corporation. That is not. You have a Yah given rights to be who we are, and that's what I explained to her. She said she understood. I said, as long as you understand that, I'll take this notice from you, but I'm already telling you that I've already given notice of who I am. And then, as usual, you have the little sneaky car driver away because it's always Satan behind the plot trying to send people. But there's nothing for me to hide. I don't have to hide. That's why I'm coming out in the open. I'm shouting at the rooftop what has been done in secret. You already know what it is. So can't nobody come behind me trying to say, well, no, you accepted. No, I never did. She already understood that when I took this notice, I just took it from her that she can do her job and go about her business. That was our understanding with each other. And I already told her I understand this situation. And this is the notice that she gave. Once she had the understanding of that I'm not going to be subject to this stuff, I've already given her notice of who I am. I've already given everybody notice of who I am and who I'm not. I've done that. So I'm not subject to the corporation. So no matter what they do, I'm already told you who I am. I'm an original American, indigenous to this land. Aboriginal, as they say. Original. By birthright. American. Israelite by bloodline. Because there was only 3 brothers that came off the ark. That's proven. All these other names come from those 3 brothers. Japhet, Shem, and Ham. I'm from the line of Shem. So, that's why this internet is a good thing as well, because it allows you to tell the truth. So nobody can come behind you and lie, because Satan is a crafty, sick, degenerate, miserable individual. So I'm exposed in the light what was said and what was done. I never acknowledged being subject. When I accepted that from her, I only let her do her job. But I already first of all, she had to give me the understanding that she understood that I was not accepting being subject to this process. And she said she understood. So that's that, as far as I'm concerned. I mean, anything after that being through deception, deceptive practices don't stand. You cannot make a contract through deception. You have to give a full disclosure of what you're trying to do. And I've given her a full disclosure of who I am and who I'm not. And she came to visit me. I didn't come to visit her. And this is like the 3rd time they've tried to come and do this. And then she tried, you talking about, I said, don't. I said, first of all, I live in my body. My soul is housed in this body. I dwell at a dwelling place, wherever I'm dwelling at. I said, don't I have a right to dwell? Yeah, you do. Okay. See, they always trying to have these little legal in the windows that they always try to lock you into. Like, okay, well, I have the right to use this corporation. The corporation was placed on this land to be subject to the people, not the people subject to the corporation. And I'm an original American. My people was here first. See, and I wouldn't be saying all these type of things if they wouldn't force me to say these things. But I have to be clear in what I'm saying. Because of the things they're doing. They're always trying to, like I say, they're habitual line steppers. That's a joke, but that's what they do, though. Always trying to force you into a corner to be subject to them. I'm not subject to anyone except my Father, who art in heaven, and His people. Do you know what I mean? I'm under them? No, well, but I got to look out for them. Scripture says we must be as peaceable as we can with all men. And that's what I do. But when Satan comes in disguise as man, I have to deal with Satan with truth. And I expose the actions of Satan with the truth in the public eye. So it never can be said that I acknowledge being subject to a corporation. I never done that, never will. Especially since I have come to a understanding about the situation through knowledge. So I even told her that I was going to do this, so it's not like I'm doing behind her back. Not that I owe her anything, but she said she understood. So all I'm doing is putting it out there on the record that I never acknowledged being subject to the corporation. And I've already given a public notice. That's all I got to do is, as far as who I am, I don't owe them anything. So